Welcome back, guys. In this video, we are going to look into lists in Python, which is also a collection data type. In the previous video, we have covered strings, which is a collection data type in Python. So in this video, we are going to look into lists. So here are some of the properties of list. So they are indexed, they are ordered, changeable, and allow duplicate values. Ordered means what? The elements once arranged, the order of the elements won't change, okay, when doing operations on the list. And it is not changeable. So elements once we assign to the list, we can also change the elements present in the list and allow duplicates. So we can store duplicate values in the list. And the next property is they are indexed, means like arrays in Java and C++, these elements can be indexed through iterations or iterable. The first item has an index 0. Of course, we know that in array also the first element will be indexed with what? 0, right? So in the second element as 1. Likewise, the nth element will be what? Nth element will be n minus 1 index, right? Because indexing starts from what? 0. So let's get into lists. So if you have not watched the previous video that is based on the strings, please go and watch the video. You can find the playlist in the channel, YouTube channel. You can follow that playlist. You can get the link of that playlist in the description box below. And also these notebooks will be available in our drive, which will be directly shared with you. And the link for the drive is also provided in the description box below. So without wasting time, let's get into this. So okay, first introduction. So how you define lists in Python? Lists are declared and initialized like this. We have to give a variable name. Let's say I will give variable name as list1, and we have to initialize the values directly. And in lists, we are going to use these square brackets to assign the values. Let's say lists are defined with these square brackets. Inside these square brackets, we are going to write the elements name. Let's say I will write 3, 3, 5, 6, 3, 6. Let's say I will write some other variables or also elements also 8, 54. Let's say this is a list. You can see here list items are separated with comma, which is enclosed within a square brackets. So elements within these square brackets represents list items, and elements you can see here, elements are what? Elements are repeating, right? So 3 is repeating. You can see here 3 is repeating. Like this, it can be repeated. That is, it can contains duplicate values as well. So okay, this is a simple introduction of what list, how to define the list. Okay, you can also define list with characters as well. Let's say I will define, means character means string of length 1 is called character. But in Python we don't have character. We will say it as a string of length 1, like this: A, B, C, D. List can also contains the set of characters as well, means string of length 1 as well. And also list can also contain elements of Boolean data types. Let's say it can be true, it can be false, and it can be like again false, like this. It can store the Boolean data types as well. And also list can store set of strings as well. That is name, age, USN, like this. It can also contains elements with string data type. And also if you look into Java and C++, in that array can only contain elements of same data type, right? Either can it contains type of integers, or a type of character, or it a type of Boolean, or it has a type of strings. But in Python you can store values of different data types as well. So this is the major difference between arrays in Java and list in Python. Okay, like say if I declare one more, let's say I will name this as details is equals to, here I can declare like name. Let's say name will be Santosh, age will be 19, and let's say USN is RHIS060. Let's say this is some USN, and this is a name, and this is a what? This is a age. Here you can see that this list containing what? It is also containing a string. It is also containing what? It is also containing age. It is containing USN. Let's say I will add one more, that is true. Here you can get confused that what is this true. Let's say for gender purpose, if it is a man, we will call it as true. If it is a woman, then it will call it as false. Okay. In Python, list can also contain data of different data types. Here you can see it is of string, it is of integer, this is of string, this is of Boolean data types. So this is also allowed. If I want to print a list, how do you print? In C and C++, you can't print like this, right? If it is of an array in Java or C++, can you print like this? Directly print and the name of this array or a list. Can you print like this in Java or C++? No, right? We have to what? We have to iterate for each and every element. For I in list 1, we have to do what? We have to print this I. That is iterating each and every elements in this list. I in list means what? For each and every elements in this list, we are going to iterate and we have to print. But here is a twist. You can see if I print this, you can see the result of this all the elements, individual elements like this, because they have iterated and printed. But in Python, we have one functionality, that is we can print the list directly. If I print list 1 directly, you can see the result as it is. You can see here. You can see this, right? So you can print the list directly. Then we will move on to the next topic, that is list indexing. Definitely, I already told you how to index this, because see here you can see it is of what? Ordered. It is indexed, means elements are indexed. If you want to access, let's say I will take this array or a list. If I take this list, if I want to print only Santosh, what will you do? What will you do? You will print details of, let's say I use print details of 0, right? Why 0? Because indexing starts from 0. So this element is present at 0th index, 19 is present at 1, this is present at 2, this is present at 3. So if I want to print only Santosh, then I will use print details of 0. If I run this, you can see the answer, that is only Santosh is printed. So likewise, you can what? You can do indexing. Also here you can do negative indexing as well, that is indexing from the backside of the list. Let's say I want to print RHIS06. This is USN. I want to print USN. How do you print in the forward? So forward iteration. This is 0. This is 1. This is 2. Right? You can print in this way. Else you can also print what? -1, -2. If I print details of -2, what will you get? You will get USN, right? So you can see you will get USN if you print details of -2. If I want to access elements in some particular range, let's say I want to access elements from this Santosh to RHIS06. I have told you in the previous video slicing about string slicing, right? So that slicing is also possible in lists as well. If I want the data from this 0th index to this particular second index, how can I print? Print details of, from where to where we want the data? From 0th index. So we will write the 0th, means we can also write 0 or we can leave it as empty, because it will take from starting of the list. Then for the ending purpose, what we have to do? This is 0, this is 1, this is 2. We want data up to 2, means should we write here 2? Is it correct? No, right? If we write 2, the data will be printed only up to this particular 2 minus 1, that is 1, till this, because last element is not included while printing, right? So we have to print from where to where? From this starting to 3, so that 3 is not included, up to 2 is printed. So I will write here what? I will write 3. If I print this, we'll get Santosh to RHIS079. Is this correct? So this is how you are going to index in a list as well. Let's say you want to, let's say I will name this also. So if I want, if I give you some like this, details of -3 to -1. Please pause the video and guess the output for this statement. Okay, I will tell you the answer. You can see here we have used negative, right? Negative numbers here. So if they give negative numbers, you have to do from the end of the list. So from the end of the list, the indexing starts from where? Is it start from 0? No, right? I have told you in the indexing of from the end of the array, the indexing starts from -1. In the starting of the array, it will start from 0. So true is present at what? -1. This is -2. This is -3. This is -4. So they are asking to print -3 to -1. What will be the data? Definitely, of course, the last element is not included. So -1 will not included, up to -3 to -2. Only 2 elements will be printed. That is 99 USN will be printed. So if I run this, you can see 99 RHIS060. Is that correct? Right. So this is how you are going to index the list elements which are present in the given list. So this is the positive indexing, negative indexing, indexing for a particular range. This is also one of the example for indexing of a particular range, but is of a negative indexing. Right. So we will move on to a question which is present here. Find the index of first matching element. Let's say I have not taught you this concept. Please don't worry about this. I will solve you for this. Let's say we have a list like vegetable list. So let's say we have this particular list, that is a vegetable list, right? So we have a vegetable list. If I want to find the index of tomato, I don't know where it is in the present list. I don't know this list particularly, but I know this tomato is present in this list. So I want the index of this particular element. How can we do this? So in Python, we have a method like we have to use the list name first, that is veg, then dot, then we have a method called index. If I use this particular method index, then we have to use the oval brackets. Within this oval brackets, we have to mention the element name, which element we are going to find. We have to find the index for this particular tomato, right? So in this, we have to write the tomato. So if I print this, what will be the value? Of course, by default, it will print the indexing values from the starting of the list. That is 0, 1, 2. So 2 will be printed, right? If I run this, so you can see here index 2 is printed. Let's say I want index of carrot. How will you do this? Just replace tomato with the carrot, that's it. Correct, right? If I replace tomato with this particular carrot and run the code, you will get index 0, right? Is that correct? That's it, guys. That's how you are going to find index of any particular element which is present in the list. So we'll move on to the next question, that is count the occurrence of a specific object in a list. The count method returns the number of occurrence of the, so here they have given the int, that is count method returns the number of occurrence of specific object. Below we return the number of times the string fish exists in a list called pets. Okay, so we have given with a list. I will copy this one. I'll paste this here. So we want to find the number of occurrence of fish element. So we have fish element here, right? So we have two fish elements. We have to find the number of occurrences. Of course, by looking into this, we can tell that count is what? Here one time fish, here one time. That is two times fish is occurring. But by using Python, how can we achieve this? So in order to do this, we have to do, let's say I will print the result directly. We have to write the name of the list first, pets dot count. Inside the whole bracket, what we have to do is we have to write the name of that particular element for which we are going to find the number of occurrences, that is fish, right? If I run this, what will be the result? So here you can see fish is what? Fish is twice it is occurring, so 2 is returned. So if I change this single quotes to double quotes, let's say I will change this to single quotes to double quotes, will this return the same value? Will this return the same value if I run this? Yes, right. So here you can say that single quote and double quote doesn't matter. Both are strings only in Python. So this is how you are going to find occurrence of any element in the list, how many times it is occurring in the list. This is not only possible for the string, you can also do it for this particular lists as well. That is list of integer type of one string of length one, then for boolean types, then for strings, then for mixed list types as well. You can do that. Then we will move into list slicing. I have already explained you in this here itself how to slice list, right? So how to index this, how to slice this. If you want a particular element at particular index, you can do like this. And in order to slice, you have already done with this. So we have done this in the above example. So let's do one problem here. Let's say I have a list of fruits. Let's say I have a list. I want to print the elements, individual elements by individual elements. Okay, I don't want to print entire list like this. I want to print only the elements. How do you print? You will use for loops or while loop and you will iterate through each and every element, then you will print, right? If I ask you, I want only banana, apple and jackfruit. How can you achieve this? If I want only banana, apple and jackfruit, but using what? Using this particular brackets like a list. For doing this, you will do list slicing, right? So print fruits of, from where to where I want, from first index, that is this banana, to till last index, right? So last index means it may require that you should mention the index as well. If it is not also, you can leave it as empty, then it will be considered as the last of the list. So if I start from this particular one and if I leave this as empty, what will it return? It will return this banana to jackfruit, right? So if I print this, you can see the results. So it has printed banana, apple and jackfruit. So this is how list slicing is done in Python. Then we will move on to the next concept, that is check the item existence. Let's say we have a string. Let's say we'll take this particular list as list only. We have this particular list. I want to check whether a element or a particular element is present in this list or not. Let's say I want to check that whether cat is present in this list. How can you do? If I directly print, if I, let's say I will use if else statement, if this particular cat is present in pets, if this present in pets, print yes, cat is present. If it is not, what it should print? It should not, then it should print no, cat is not present. That's it. If I run this, will it return yes, cat is present, right? Why yes, cat is present? Because cat is present in this list. So it will return this. If I change this name to, let's say I will change this name to parrot. Is parrot present in this pets group? Is this present? No, right? So if I run this, what it will print? It will print no, cat is not present still, but parrot we have mentioned here, so it should be parrot. Let's say for as for now, we will print like this only. So no, parrot is not present in this list. So it will return what? It will return false. Let's say we'll make this like this. So if it is present in this list, let's it print true. If it is not, then let it print false. If I run this, you can see false here, right? Because parrot is not present in this list. This is how you are going to check whether an item exists in the list or not. Then for replace list items, this is the next topic. So replace list items means what? So here we have one list. Let's say I will take this fruit list, copy. I will take this and paste here. Let's say we have this particular list. I want to replace any one item in this list. How can we do this? How can we do this? If I want to replace banana, right? If I want to replace banana with pomegranate, how can you achieve this? So directly you can do like this, that is get the index of this particular banana. So if you don't know where banana actually present in and you want to change the banana to pomegranate, right? So first, in order to do that, first we have to do what? We have to find the index of this particular element, right? In order to do, or in order to find the index of that particular element, how can we do? Let's store that index in a variable index. So this will a container or a variable which stores index of this particular banana. So in order to get the index of this particular banana, how can we do this? In order to get the index of that banana, we will use fruits dot index of what? Banana, right? So if I run this, the index of the banana will be stored in index. So what will be the value of index after executing this? 0, 1. So 1 will be stored in index. Now I want to change the element at 1 index to pomegranate. How can we do this? We know the index and we know the list is present here. So for this list and at 1 index, we have to change the element. So what we will do? Fruits of index, right? Because index is what? Index is 1. That is a index of banana. So fruits of index got replaced with what? We have to replace it with pomegranate, right? So that's it, pomegranate. So if I replace this particular fruits of index, that is fruits of 1 with pomegranate, banana is replaced with pomegranate. So banana will be, the data banana is lost. So banana got replaced with pomegranate. If I print the list now, print list. See here you can also directly write like this, but it is only available in this particular Google Collaboratory. You can't do like this in other IDEs. So please be aware of this. That's why I'm explaining you with using print only. You can also write like this in Google Collaboratory. If I directly write the name of this list, it will get printed. You can see here. See, banana is replaced with what? Pomegranate. So you can also print any list or variables directly like this also. It is not necessary that you have to use print. But it is a good practice that if you use print statement, because this particular, you can't find this particular directly naming in other IDs. If you use this particular print statement, then it is good. So if I run this, the result will be same. No difference is there. So banana is replaced with what? Pomegranate. So how to replace any list items? I taught you. Here is the way. Then we'll move on to the next topic, that is replace list items for a given range. Okay, we have given a range. Let's say we'll take a new list. I will take a list of city. Let's say we have this particular list. Now I want to change name from, let's say, this particular Chennai to Delhi with Mangaluru, Mysore and Hassan. If I want to change this name from Chennai to Delhi, I want to replace all these 3 elements with particular 3 other elements. How can we do this? I've already taught you, you know the list indexing, right? You know list indexing and the list slicing, you know. So I want to change elements from where to where? From 0, 1. So first index to till the last element. So in slicing city from 1 to last, right? Last means we can leave it as empty till last element. It will take element from first index, that is 0, 1, from 1 to last element. So I want to change these 3 elements into how many elements? Other 3 elements, right? We will write other 3 elements here. within the square brackets itself. I want to change it to, if I want to change these particular 3 elements with these particular 3 elements, here is you how to change these elements. You use list slicing. Okay, if I print city now, you can see the results directly. These particular 3 cities will be got replaced with Mangaluru, Mandya and Hassan. So Bangalore is remained same. Why? Because we are not changed the value of this particular Bangalore. Now you may be getting you may be getting what? You may be getting confusion here. If here we have replaced these 3 index with these particular 3 elements. If we put only 2 elements, what will be the result? If I put only these 2 elements for particular 3 indexes, what will be the result? You may be getting confused that if you run the code, you can see the answer here. These 3 elements will be replaced with only 2 elements. You can see Mangalore and Mandya is replaced, and one more index is left empty. Means it won't be replaced. Means it won't be replaced by any element. It will be just deleted. This particular 3 index elements will be replaced with only 2 elements. That's it. So this is how you are going to replace list items for a given range. That is here is the range 1 till particular last element. You can also replace it with from 0th index to particular second index or first index. It's up to you. Practice some questions on this. You will be getting clarity on the question clarity on this topic. So next we will move on to the adding items to the list. So let's say we have this particular list. City. I have this particular list. I want to add elements. I want to add items. How can you do this? So in Python, you can add it directly using append method or insert method. I will tell you why append, why insert. Different methods are present. City dot append, then within this oval brackets, and usually string is represented with double quotes, right? I will using double quotes or single quotes. It may be up to you. Within this, we'll write Hubli. That's it. So city dot append Hubli. That is for city list. Hubli name will be getting appended as an item. If I print city now, you can see Hubli appended to this particular city at the end, right? So appending done at what? Append can be done from the end of the list. It won't append elements in the middle or in the starting. It will append items from the end of the list. Okay, let's say if I want to insert any item in between of this, okay, without replacing any items. So append will do what? Append will do just add the elements from the end of the particular list. If I want to insert any item at middle of the index, or it may be from the starting of the index, how can we do this? We can do this through insert method, that is city.insert, then the index where we have to insert the element. Let's say I want to insert the element after Bengaluru, that is at index 1. I will write the index number first, that is 1, then comma, then which element to be inserted will be written here. Let's say I want to insert Udupi. I want to insert Udupi after Bengaluru, that is at index 1. So this is how you are going to write the code. Then if I print city after doing this, if I run the code, so you can see here after Bengaluru, Udupi is inserted without erasing Chennai, right? So at the place of Chennai, Udupi is getting placed and Chennai is moved to the next index. And again Hyderabad moved, again Delhi and Hubli. You can't find Hubli here, but we have inserted or appended Hubli from here. So this is how we are going to append and insert items to the particular list. So then we will move on to the next topic, that is extend list. Let's say you have 2 lists. Let's say I will take this one list, copy, paste, and I will take one more list as this fruit list. So you have this particular 2 lists. You want to just put all the second item elements in the first list. If you want to put all the list items in the second list to the first list, how can you do this? Many people will be thinking like just concatenate the things and store it in city. That is city is equals to city plus fruits, right? So this is also possible. This is also concatenation of 2 lists. This is also possible. If I print the city, you will find, yeah, it is correct. You will find the result of concatenation of this particular 2 lists. But this is not the good method. This is not the good method. Why this is not the good method? See here, first what you are doing is you are concatenating city and fruits. So this is correct. Again what you are doing? You are pushing all these concatenated elements into city again. So what it will take? It will take lot of time. So in order to come out of this, what you do is you have to use extend method. So extend method will do what? It will just extend this particular list to what elements to be extended. Let's say I want to extend this particular list, that is city, with this particular elements, that is fruit. How can we do this? City dot extend fruits. So how this will be achieved like this? See, city we have already elements in this. So into this list itself, these particular elements will directly go and append. So this extend will do like this. So it will save what? It will save time, and it will get execute faster. So if you run this, you will get all the elements appended in the city directly. If you print fruits after this, if I print fruits, the elements in the fruits won't get affected. Elements in the fruit will be remain same, but the items will be get appended with the city as well. So this is how we are going to use extend. So concatenation, that is a plus, using plus also you can concatenate, do the concatenation, but this is one of the efficient way. Next we will move on to one question. So here, what is the difference between append and extend? See, if I do, I have explained you here append. Let's say I will take this example. If I append any item to this, it will get appended as an item, right? Let's say if I want to append a list of items, let's say I have another list, let's say city 2. Let's say we have these three particular elements in the city 2. I want to extend this, means I want to insert this particular city 2 elements into this particular city list. How can we do this? Yeah, many people will be telling like extend, do the extend, and elements will be moved on. If I do append, what it will be the result? What will be the result? If I do append city2, what will be the result? Guess the result. So if I do append, this particular entire list is there now, it will be just appended to this particular list as a list itself. If I run this, you will find all the elements in a string format, and this particular list as an element within the city. The elements which are present in the city 2 will not append like an element. The entire list will be appended as an element, like Delhi, Hyderabad, Chennai, and Bangalore. If I run this, you can see the output here. You'll get a better understanding. See, this entire list is there now. This entire list is appended as an item for this particular city list. So this is the difference between append and extend. If I do extend here, if I do extend, what will be the result? This Bhopal and Chandigarh, Gandhinagar will be added as an element like Delhi, Hyderabad, and Chennai, not as a list, right? If I run this, you can see the output. See, Bhopal, Chandigarh, and Gandhinagar as added as an item, not an entire list of items. So this is the difference between what? Append and extend. So we'll move on to the next topic, that is remove item. So we have four methods here. One is remove method, pop, and this is a keyword del. Then this is other clear method. Let's say I have one list. Let's say city2. I will take this list itself directly. I want to remove Chandigarh from this list. How can we do this? You have these particular four methods. If I want to this, how can we do this is, let's say I will use remove method first. If I want to remove Chandigarh from this particular list, the syntax will be like this: city2, right? Dot remove all brackets. Within this all brackets, which element we have to remove? The name of this particular element should be written within this double quotes. If I print this after doing this, city2, if I print this, you will see the list containing only Bhopal and Gandhinagar. You won't see Chandigarh. Let's say I will run this. You can see Bhopal and Gandhinagar because Chandigarh has been removed, right? So if I commentize this, I will comment this, I will explain other as well. So let's say I will use pop method. Pop method will do is, it will pop from the end of the index by default. If I put city2.pop, if I do this, this will remove element from the end of the list. You can see the results as well. So you will find only Bhopal and Chandigarh, not Gandhinagar. Why? Because Gandhinagar has been popped here, right? So pop is also provides some other functionalities, like you can also pop it from the zeroth index as well. Zeroth index means you have to give the parameter as 0. If you leave it empty, it will pop from the last element from the end of the list. If you mentioned 0, it will pop from the zeroth index. If you can see the result, Bhopal won't be there. Chandigarh and Gandhinagar is present, right? You can also pop from the middle of the element as well. If you give 1, this particular element which is present at first index will be got popped. If you execute this, you can see only Bhopal and Gandhinagar, right? So this is the functionality provided by pop. You can do this for your removing elements as well. Let's say I will comment this. Then we will move on to the del. If I want to delete, let's say Bhopal, I want to delete Bhopal from this list. How can you delete? So just simply write del. I want to delete this particular Bhopal, right? What is the index of this particular Bhopal? Index of this particular Bhopal is 0, right? So in order to do this, how can we do? So I want to delete this element in this list. So how can we access this element using list? Using indexing, right? So city2 of 0. If I mention city2 of 0, what will be the element what will be the element in this place? Bhopal, right? So Bhopal will be deleted from the city too. Now if I execute this, you can see only Chandigarh and Gandhinagar, because why? This particular Bhopal has been deleted from using this delete keyword. Then we'll move on to the next option, that is clear. Let's say I don't want entire list, I want to clear all the elements in the list. How can we do? You can do this using clear method. If you do this clear, it will result in clearance of all the elements. You will get a list, empty list. You can see here no elements, it consists of no elements. So this is what? This is the clear method functionalities. Let me comment this as well. Please go through this once, because these are very important for practicing problems. Now we'll move on to the question, that is, what is the difference between remove and pop? Here you can see remove we are using when we have that particular element name which is to be removed, right? If we have any name of that element, we will use remove that particular element from the particular list. And what is the functionality of pop? Pop is used to what? Pop is used to delete element based on the index, right? So if I want to pop element at the 0th index, we will give 0 here. If I want to pop element at the last index, we won't give any parameters. If we left empty, then it will pop from the last element. So if I want to pop element at any particular index, that is, let's say 1, I will mention 1 here. So it is using index to pop or delete elements. Remove is using what? Remove using name of that particular element to delete that element from the list. So this is the difference between what? A particular remove and pop methods. Now we will move on to what? Iterating looping list using for and while loops. So I have already told you how to iterate through the loops or how to iterate through the list. Let me give another example as well. Let's say we have an list of cars. Let's say we have this particular car list. I want to print only the elements which are present in the list, not as a list, only the elements. How can we do this? We will do this using iteration, right? That is, for I in cars, print I. Now what it will do? For I in cars means for each and every element in this cars list will print this particular element, right? Let's say I will write element here itself. You will get a better understanding, right? So for each and every element in cars, print that element. That's it. So this is how you are going to iterate through the list. If you run this, you will only get the data present in this particular list, that is Tata, Toyota, BMW and Swift. So we have a question here, that is how to iterate over 2 plus lists at the same time. So if you have 2 plus lists, how to iterate over that? So let's say I have a list of consisting of names. Let's say we have this particular 4 names, and also we have their ages as well. Let's say these are their ages. I want to iterate through both these lists at the same time. How can we do? In Python, there is a method called, there is a functionality called zip. Let's say I want to iterate through these particular 2 elements, right? How can we do this is, let's say I will initialize it with Z, and we have to use this particular zip method. Within this zip method, we have to send the parameters, which is the name of the list, which is to be iterated at the same time, that is name and age. If we do this particular functionality, what Z will store is, it will store elements from both this list, and it is used for iterating elements from both the list. Now what I will do is, I will iterate through this zip for how many elements we have in this particular zip, how many lists, 2 lists, right? For that list, mention the names, name, age in Z. What we will do is, we will format the thing. I've already told you how to format strings in the previous video. In this video, we are going to check into another way of formatting the strings. That is, we'll print, I think many people know this percentage S, right? Percentage S is, and again percentage, let's say percentage D, because why? This is consisting of integer values, right? So percentage D. After this, if we use this particular mod operator, then with all brackets we have to mention the name and age. So this is one of the method of formatting the strings. Here what it will happen is, for each and every iteration, the name and age is there now, which is present in this particular list, 2 lists. For that particular elements, name and age will be replace this particular percentages and percentage D. If I run this, you can see the output as, see, percentage S has been replaced by Rohit. For the first iteration, Rohit has replaced percentage S, that is Rohit. and is this printed as it is, then percentage D has been replaced with what? 22. So Rohit is 22, Naveen is 21, Bharat is 20, Pramod is 19. So this is how you are going to iterate through two or more lists at the same time using zip methods. So we'll move on to the next topic, that is list comprehension. Guys, this is very much important, very important. Please concentrate on this. This concept will help you in optimizing your code. Okay, if anything is getting lengthy, let's say some code is getting 4 to 5 lines for either execution, it can be done within a single line. So code optimization, it will help in code optimization. So what is list comprehension? It offers a shorter syntax when you want to create a new list based on the values of an existing list. Syntax. So this is a new list expression for items in iterable. I will explain you what actually is this. Let's say we'll take one example of fruits. Okay, we have fruit list kiwi. Let's say we have this list. I want to print all the elements except apple. How can you do this? I want to print all the elements except apple. In normal way, what you do, you will put a for loop for I in fruits, right? For I in fruits. If you will check your condition, that is, if I is not equals to apple, you will do what? You will print that particular I, right? This will give all the elements except apple. That's correct. You can see all the elements which are present in the list except apple. But here you can see 3 lines of code you are writing for doing this, right? So if I want this particular entire code to be executed in a single line, if I want each and everything in a single line, how can you do this? How can you do this? If I want to provide functionality with the same functionality with a single line of code, how can you do this? So list comprehension helps in this kind of things. Let's say what we will do is print x for x in particular fruits if x not equals apple. That's it, guys. So this is the code. Now if you execute this, the same output what you can see from this code will be you can see from this code, but only single line of input, single line of output. If I run this, so you can see all the elements except what? Except this particular apple, right? So this is what? This is list comprehension, guys. So you can minimize the code, you can optimize the code. See, you can see 3 lines to only single line of code, right? But providing the same functionality. So this is how you are going to use list comprehension. Let me explain this one first. Okay. So you leave this x for as for now. You will take from this, that is for x in fruits. I think everyone know this. This is for loop. For x in this particular fruits means what? For each and every elements in this fruit, if x is not equals to apple, for each and every elements of this list, but x is not equals to apple means this is expected. Sorry, this is what? This is left. And only these elements are considered. That is banana, mango, cherry and kiwi. Just print this element. See, this is what? This is print the element from this particular condition and the loop. That's it, guys. Let's solve one problem on this topic, that is print list containing even numbers between 100 to 150. In general, what you do? You will do for I in range of between. Between means what? It won't include 100 and 150. Okay, for I in range of, so in between means we should not include 100, right? So if I write 100, 100 will be got included. So if I don't want to include 100, what we will do is we'll put 101. If I take 99, 100 will get included. That's why I have incremented this by 1 and I have mentioned here 101 till, and I also don't include this 150. If I leave 150, if I write 150 also, it is not a problem. Why? Because last element is not included in the range. So it is not a major issue. For this, what you do, you will doing like for I mod 2 is equals to 0, you will printing that particular element, right? So this is how you are going to check whether an element is an even. So this will give what our expected result. You can see the result as well. This will give our expected result. If I want all these elements in the one line with a given space means we will use end at the end and give a space. If I run this, we will see all the elements in a single line with separated spaces. But here you can see 3 lines of code you are using. If I want to achieve this in a single line of code, how you do? Of course, you will use what? You will use list comprehension, that is for x for x in range of 101 till 150. And here what you have to do? What you have to do? You have to check, right? If x mod 2 is equals to 0. Simply print that element. That's it. That's it. Code is done. If I run this, of course you can't see it correctly. We'll print one space in between. Here you can see this particular first line elements got printed through this looping. The second one, that is in the format of list, it is got printed through what? Got printed through this particular list comprehension statement. So this is how you are going to use list comprehension, guys. This is very important. Please do solve a lot of problems from this, because your code will got optimized if you learn this concept well. Now we will move on to list sorting. Of course, what is sorting? Sorting is arranging elements in an ascending or a descending order. So in Python, how can you sort this? Let's say I have this particular list, that is numbers. In Python, you can sort this using inbuilt functions like we have the function called numbers.sort. If you write this, that's it. This particular list is sorted. If I print numbers, you can write directly as a numbers, no issues. If you want to use print, you can use. It is also not issue. If you print like this, you can print. Either you can directly write the numbers, but this particular writing the numbers as a direct is not available in other IDEs. It is only available in this particular Google Collaboratory. If I run this, the output will be same. Here you can see elements are got what? Sorted in an ascending order by default. If I want to arrange this or sort this in a descending order, what you will do? Simply add reverse is equals to true here. That's it. Reverse is equals to true. Here you can see elements got arranged in descending order. Let's say I want, if I put false here, what will be the result? Tell me, what will be the result? Definitely reverse is false, means it will be ascending order, right? It will be arranged in ascending order, right? So this is also true. If you remove this also, by default it will arrange the elements in ascending order. This is for what? This is for ascending order. For descending order, I will write in the comment. Please understand, for descending order, I will write it in the comment, that is numbers dot sort reverse is equals to what? True. That's it. So this is how you are going to reverse a string or sort the string in ascending or a descending order. So we'll move on to the next last topic of this particular lecture, that is copy list. So if I have this particular list, okay, I will take this particular numbers list only. I want a copy of this particular list in another list. Let's say another list is numbers 2. So this is one list, empty list, and I want these elements to be copied to this particular list. How can you do? Here is how you are going to copy. Numbers 2, right? You have to copy to numbers 2, write the name of this, then after this write the name of the list which is to be copied, right? So numbers dot copy. If you write this, that's it, guys. Numbers 2 will be storing what? The copy of the numbers. If I print numbers 2, you will get the same elements like here. So you can see the same elements, right? Because why? These elements got copied to this list. Here you can see this is the line which is executing that particular functionality. After that we are printing numbers 2. So numbers 2 is storing what? Numbers. That's it, guys. That's much for this video. If you learn this video correctly, if you go through each and every concept correctly, the upcoming video will be very much easy for you, because upcoming video is also same but with some different functionalities. Okay guys, we'll meet in the next video. Till then, take care. Bye bye.